Y'all know what the oldest tech support in fixing the book is? Um, it's turn it off and turn it on again. Give me 1 second. So now we're running into some stream issues. It looks like. If there's anybody out there, I may have to pull my own stream up. Let me do that real fast. Okay. Nice. Okay. Okay. So, refresh your browsers if you are having issues. Y'all, I'm cold. Got my hot chocolate. We've got a blanket, and we've got really bad baseball to look at tonight. So I think the last time we were here, I don't know why I'm wearing my headphones, but the last time we were here, we took a look at kind of all the stats and all the nonsense that came with the end of the season stuff for our franchise. So obviously we missed the playoffs. We're looking at the Phillies and the Dodgers in the NL playoffs, the Orioles and the Oakland Athletics out on the junior circuit. And we just got a bunch of emails that we can probably just read real fast. There we go. We read a bunch of emails. That's how you should read your emails at work. You can just hit mark as read. If it's important, they will tell you. Right? So we are in year 3, 1971. We have crawled out of the cellar, and now we're, firmly in fourth place, right? We would like to get up here with the Phillies, but we got to make up about 25, 27 games. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but with continued development and continued good drafting, we should get where we want to go. We looked at last time, we can go back in the VOD on YouTube. If you want to watch old clips of the Expos. Am I winning, son? Not really. Oh, by the way, I did make I have a command now, and you can actually check your own winnings. If you just type in !winning in chat, you can see how much you're winning today. And as you can see, I'm only 22% winning, which is kind of fitting considering how our Expos have been doing over the last 3 years. We are, after 3 years, we are a very, very poor 192, 294 record, roughly 400 winning percentage. So tonight we're not going to be on long. I figured we would just get through the playoffs and most of the early winter stuff. but I hope you're doing well, Mr. Mick Ratpat. I didn't say Mr. Mick Ratpack. Hope you are doing well. I almost called you Mr. Ratpat. I cannot read. That is it's quite the, yep. Okay. Anyways, so we're going to go through it and go ahead and simulate the playoffs just to see kind of how things progress. So it's the Orioles and A's, and then the LA Dodgers and the Philadelphia Phillies. As you can see, both teams are kind of similar in that they're, decent offense, really good pitching. So the number 1 and 2 pitching staff in the NL. And then out west, it's the 1 and 3 pitching staffs, and both good offenses. So these are two really good teams. We didn't have like a lucky, nonsensical team who finished like 10th in runs make the playoffs. Looking at the playoff matchups, though, we got Bert Hooten. I discovered that name in the last stream we did. This guy named Bert Hooten. From Greenville, North Carolina. Started as a rookie for the Philadelphia Phillies and won 19 games. His name is Bert Hooten. And he goes up against 19-game winner Don Sutton, Blylev and Drysdale, and then it kind of tapers off into Charlie Huff and something called a Bill Bonham. Before we go back to our friend Bert Hooten. That's how I have to say it. You can't say it any other way. And then out west, we're going, let's see, Jim Palmer and Raleigh Fingers, Vita Blue, Spaceman Bill Lee's right here. A very peculiar fella, to say the least. Low work ethic makes sense. As you can see, he turned in a pretty mediocre career for himself. Most known for having elbow reconstruction. No, wait, was that Billy or was that someone else? He may have been the first Tommy John patient. Well, no, the first Tommy John patient was, get this, y'all, Tommy John. I'm stupid. Okay. Anyway, he appears flat out bored. Yeah, that's why his name is Spaceman. So these are clearly the two best teams in the league. So we'll finish today and we'll kind of go with how these start. Let's take a look at the standings overall. I always like to look at expanding standings. As you can see, as to luck factor, it looks like the Orioles, which were pretty lucky in the American League, being 5 games different from their run Pythagorean win. Red Sox a little unlucky. Yankees were pretty unlucky going down. The Mets were 81 and 81 with a Pythagorean win of 73 and 89. They had a run differential of minus 69, which is nice. Looks like they were fueled by a 22 and 16 record in 1-run games, 7 and 4 in extra innings. We largely had similar luck, 5 games over with a minus 135 run differential. We kind of pewtered out in the second half, but we were 27 and 21 in one-run games. Now, we're going to consider a strategy for next year, and this will be for the next stream, where we kind of get away from the prevailing wisdom of the 1970s. So we're going to have to run probably a deeper pin next year to set this up. And as you can see down here, it looks like the Cubs were unlucky at 6 wins below their projected Pythagorean win-loss record, which is basically just based on runs scored and runs allowed. If you're scoring at home, looks like not great in one-run games. Ideally, you'd be around 500. But some teams are better than others. Being able to win run games is not necessarily a skill unless you have a really good bullpen, which we did. That's probably why. Okay. Playoff coverage. So the series starts. Game 1, we'll go ahead and start. We'll go ahead and simulate that, and it looks like we had a bullpen game. Yeah, in fact, it went extras. So 12 innings. The Dodgers won 1-0. Both pitchers pitched well. It looks like the Phillies had all of 4 hits. The Dodgers had all of 5 hits. Looks like all the offensive action may have happened. And no. The heck happened in the 12th? Let's get the game log. Game ended on, let's see. Well, they only show the first 9 innings. So we don't really know how the game ended. It looks like the game ended on a Rico Carty, probably home run. No, not a home run. Oh, well. Bert Blyleven went 9 2/3 innings through 129 pitches. So on and so forth. Finishing up today, we have a game 2 out west. We'll kind of come back and pivot a little bit and look at the ALCS game 1, which goes to Oakland 4-2. Brewer defeats Watt. Both pitchers were sound. Looks like it turned out to be a bullpen game. The A's pulled away with 2 in the 8th. Sorry about that, y'all. And then we'll go to game 2 in LA and simulate that. And the Phillies even that series up with Bert Hooton with the 8 innings of 9 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Ben Ogilvy had a bunch of hits. He had a 3-run homer, maybe. Continuing on, now we are in game 2 out west, or not out west, in the American League. The A's will take that one, so they're up 2. Might have an easy series on our hands for the Oakland A's. Vida Blue over Kuzman with Sprinkle getting his 2nd save. Campaneris homered. Kuzman went all 8 innings with 116 pitches. Vida Blue went 6. 3 inning save for Sprinkle. Finishing up. So now tomorrow we will continue with the ALCS. Game 3, big game goes to the Phillies, 2-1. So 1-0, 5-2, 2-1. Low scoring affairs as you would expect. Grimsley over Singer, but pitching's been solid for both teams in the series. Not a lot of offense. In fact, they took Grimsley out with a no-hitter in the 8th inning. He ended up losing it, but... And Philly scattered in 10 hits with a couple runs, and that's what won the game. Pivoting back to the American League, Jim Nash, Roger Nelson in Game 3, and Oakland A's win the World Series, or not win the World Series, win the league championship with Reggie Jackson taking home the honors as the MVP with a roughly 1,000 OPS and one tank. He had 4 hits. Ho-hum series for the American League leader in strikeouts for the 4th consecutive season. And two to one, we have the Phillies have a chance to close it out, and the Dodgers say, nah, not happening. Charlie Huff over Bonham. Garvey and Money had home runs. Well, we won't look at that box score. We'll finish today. We do have a Game 5, which is tomorrow. Bert Blyleven against Don Sutton, a rematch of the very good Game 1. This time, the Dodgers win 4-2. So, Philly spotted them a 2-run lead. They come back. Dave Duncan, who later on would become a pitching coach for the roided up A's and the Cardinals under Tony La Russa. Sutton defeated Blyleven. We'll take a look at that box score. It looks like it was 2-1 in the 4th. They tied it in the 6th, and it looks like they pulled away in the 6th inning with a bunch of hits off Bert Blyleven. Dave Duncan, 3 RBIs, took home the series as the most valuable player. We'll go ahead and finish, and we'll just roll right into Game 1. As you can see, the top staffs in both leagues. The Dodgers finished allowing 528 runs. The Oakland A's of Oakland, California, finished with 551 allowed to finish first in the American League. Third and second in their leagues in runs scored. The Dodgers third, the A's second. Here in this series, it is a best of 7. Don Drysdale against Raleigh Fingers in Game 1. Bill Singer, Jim Bunning, Vida Blue, Charlie Huff. Jim Nash against Don Sutton. Raleigh Fingers, Don Drysdale, Singer, Bunnings, Charlie Huff. And so those are your matchups. We will start Game 1. I would suspect based on... I would suspect the A's would be the favorite in this series. So, I think the A's are the favored. We'll just simulate through here. And, of course, the Dodgers win a kind of a shootout 6-5. Both starters kind of struggled. Became a bullpen game. Sprinkle won over Ellingson. Game 2. tomorrow in Oakland, so we'll go ahead and look at that. Bill Singer, Vita Blue. Oakland takes game to 2. Paris 3-2. Duncan homered. Evans homered. Brewer with the save. Travel day. We're going to Oakland, or we're going to LA for game 3. Jim Nash against Dom Sutton, and LA got a little bit of home cooking. Got some home cooked biscuits. They take the win 4-3. They pulled away in the 3rd inning off of Nash. That is Jim Nash. Was a pedestrian pitcher for most of his career. Let's go ahead and finish today. We're going to go to game 4. So the Dodgers are now, they have squared back to World Series. Charlie Huff defeated Jim Bunning. Ellingson got the save. Duncan hit his 2nd home run of the playoffs. Third of the series. Or 3rd of the playoffs. Yeah. Game 5, in a best of 7, 2-2. The winner has the advantage. The Dodgers are at home for their last home game of the season. Fingers against Don Drysdale. And the Dodgers swept their 3 games at home, so they took back home field advantage. Grant with the save. Fingers took the loss, 4-1 victory. 3-run 6th. A rather pedestrian playoffs for Raleigh Fingers. Gave up 8 hits and 2 walks in 7. And now we will now take a quick pivot away from the World Series to look at the draft pool. And here we have some good names, familiar names to the history of baseball, of course. Willie Randolph, Yankee legend, but he is the top overall player according to the scouting expert. Dennis Eckersley, Miguel Talon, Lyman Bostock, Keith Hernandez, Gary Carter, Dave Collins, Chet Lemon, who turned in quite the career for himself. So we look at this. I do have a work ethic sort in here. So I only take players who are a grade high in work ethic. So it looks like, at least in this draft, there's fewer like made guys. So if you look at the overall rating, Randy Jones is probably the only roughly big league ready player who has a strong work ethic. Oh man. And even his stuff is kind of not great. if we kind of clear the filter, we can see Bruce Bochy. Um, Keith Hernandez, Ray Howell, Randy Jones, Dan Meyer, Jorge Oria, and Frank Tanana. Probably the only players in this draft who are relatively close to being in the big leagues. However, I will sort them by work ethic. First, we draft fifth. So we have a really good player. 44,600 is our slot. So basically, we should be able to draft pretty much whoever we want. I'm going to target Miguel Dalone here, who is not great defensively. He's a corner outfielder. Though I might consider someone like Randy Jones or even maybe clearing the filter and going maybe even with Ray Howell or Keith Hernandez. Because I could get them through the system a little faster. Than I could one of the others. So we'll look at the draft in a little bit. But let's go back. We do have the 5th overall pick again. So we will have pretty much free reign on who we want. The best player overall. The one that would be hardest for us to sign would be Gary Carter. But as we can see, he has too many red flags for me. Now, obviously, this is a little bit of dramatic irony because we kind of know how his story ends. So, he actually did play for Montreal. He was actually there. A little bit of real life here. He was their actual draftee here. So, we could spin that. He's from California. He's a decent, not great catcher, so looking at his ratings, he can't really play another position, so we might be stuck with him at catcher if we decide to take him. So let's go back to playoff coverage. So we took a look at the draft. Obviously, some historically good players in it. Oh, shoot. Now let's play game 6. And the Dodgers have a 3-2 advantage, but the Oakland A's have the last 2 at home. This has been a all home team World Series, and that will not continue because the Dodgers capture the World Series in a 2-0 win. Got a run in the 1st and a run in the 8th. Both Singer and Blue went the distance. Steve Garvey was the MVP of the World Series. He did hit very well. He hit very well in the playoffs. He had 6 at bats in the World Series and got 5 hits. Okay. So that's the World Series. We'll go ahead and finish the season up, and we'll go ahead and go into the off season. We got an average score. We had a couple people leave us for greener pastures, it looks like. 3.8 million. 3.8 million in payroll for next year. Pitching coach Owens retired. Top prospects, Doug DeCinces is the 6th overall. Minor league systems, we have the 7th best system with 5 prospects in the top 80. I do plan on promoting Doug DeCinces probably next year. Maybe give him a few at-bats in AAA to start, but he did kill it in 27 games. So we'll see how training camp goes for him. But we also have Jesus De La Rosa hanging out in AA right now. Not a great looking AA. Oh, he hit an A ball. 260, but he did put up a pretty good OPS. Dave Rosello, who will very likely fall off the rankings here. Gave us some quality at bats in the majors with a near league average OPS. Kenny Esposito, the A-ball, fly ball pitcher, 100-mile-an-hour fastball, electric stuff. Will need a lot of time to develop. And then Barry Foote is 81st overall, and he is still he's in AA. All right, so a couple things we'll want to do to start the season in the off season is go to available personnel. First off, we need a pitching coach. Um, right now, I'm thinking we go to either Joe Murray or Royley. I think because we're kind of a young team, I'm not as worried about aging as much as I am developing the mechanics. So I'm going to extend an offer to Joe Murray, and we'll give him 4 years. Team trainer, we got to look at trainer ratings. Um, we may take a flyer on Pat Cruz. I think Pat Cruz is. He's not great with rehabbing arms, but he's good at preventing arms, and he's good at preventing back and rehabbing back. So I think this might be the move. Or if we wanted to, we could go with Ian Henley. But I think I'm going to go with Pat Cruz. He comes from the Corning Royals. And then base coaches. We can give Hector Maestri a run. Like he would be very good at teaching infield, outfield. He's actually an average coach too. So we'll go with Hector Maestri for first base. Give him 5 years. And then the other one would be Walter Alston was a manager. And he doesn't want to come back. Right now, I think the leader in the clubhouse would be Jose Lobos. But he has no interest. We may have to go even down here with Walker Cooper. But he's poor at mechanics, and that matters for me in this run. So maybe we go with Eric Core. Taking a look at the trading blocks, Cesar Tovar is available, but outside of being an elite defender and being really fast, I actually don't think he brings a lot to the table offensively. And yep. All right. Go ahead and send through. We'll submit an empty ballot. Checking the development complex. I think we should give him a look at like improving his plate discipline. Looking at players we should send on to the development complex. Well, if we're gonna send him any help, it would be to improve his contact. And then Junior Kennedy, I want to kind of work on his. Um, um, let's see. Okay. Um, so we got to that. I'm gonna take a break, and I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm kind of struggling a bit here. I am falling asleep, so this could be the end of stream. I'm gonna decide if I want to continue, if I can get enough energy to continue. So I'll be back in a few minutes, and we'll see where we're at. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna end stream here. So I'll wait till everybody gets back. Um, I know it's a very short stream tonight. Um, I didn't even go an hour, but y'all, I'm tired. Um, I've I slept 1 hour last night, and so I'm gonna go here.